exactly told us that paying the Igbo bride price means buying a wife? You see this statement? It's one of the biggest misconceptions about the Igbo culture. It might sound convincing, but that's not how the traditional Igbo society actually works. In pre-colonial Igbo communities, marriage wasn't just an agreement between a man and a woman. It was an alliance between two families. And the bride price wasn't receipt of purchase. It was part of a larger process, a process of creating a legitimate marriage which will be recognized by both kindreds. Think about it. If bride price truly meant ownership, why then did a married woman still have the protection of her father's lineage? If her husband mistreated her family could intervene. And in most communities, marital disputes were usually resolved by elders from both family because the marriage belonged to both families, not just the husband. Now, here is something many people don't even know. The bride price itself wasn't even the most expensive part in many traditional Igbo marriages. The families would exchange gifts, they would share food, they performed rituals, they visited one another, they created relationships that could last for generations. The money itself wasn't the point, the relationship was. Now, does this mean that every woman was treated equally in every Igbo community? No. But saying bride price meant a woman was literally bought oversimplifies a much more complex institution. In fact, in many Igbo communities, if a marriage completely broke down, elders could begin discussions on how to return parts or all of the bride wealth, not because they were returning a property, but because the marriage alliance itself had both legally and socially ended. But these customs varied from one community to another. This is a very different idea from buying a human being. So the next time someone says bride price means buying a wife, ask them this: if it was a sale, why then did both families continue having responsibilities to one another? You see, sometimes we try to explain our traditions using modern terms like buying and selling, but our ancestors were not conducting transactions. They were creating kinship, and those are two very different things.